I'm sure I can put my phone on correctly. All right, here we go. I am pretty sure there's still trout here. If you find this video later, I'm just doing some trout fishing in Jersey. First week of 2026. If I catch a rainbow trout, I'm going to keep it. If I catch a brown trout, no matter what, I'm letting that thing go. Let's see what happens. Hey, what's going on? Hey! What's up? What's going on, Giles? Week 1 of 2026. Look, it's even sunny today and all the snow's gone. I think it's almost 50 degrees in Jersey. So yesterday we caught a brown trout at this spot, and I wish I didn't keep it because it haunted me last night. And I made a new rule. Any brown trout we catch, or I catch, I'm gonna let go, because there are stocked brown trout here, but I'm afraid of not being able to tell the difference between a wild brown trout and a stocked brown trout, and I don't trust myself. If I catch a rainbow, we'll keep it, but no more keeping brown trout. I was just so excited to get a fish. It was like the most delicious fish we had. I had it with my son yesterday, and but I felt bad about it. So no more keeping brown trout. What's going on, Giles? No more ice for you. Nope, ice is gone now. It's warm now, Giles. How do you say warm? Short. I remember that. Because if they say the drink is hot, it's short, right? Très short, Giles. I'm telling you, man, if you keep coming into my stream for the next 3 years, I might start speaking French. You're just gonna convert everybody, man. Très short. Wait, tres, is that? Wait. Yeah, it is a French word, tres. All right. So, I'm gonna start with jerkbait. I can fish for about an hour and a half today. So I was doing some research. I was wondering why I was getting no bites, and I basically did some reading yesterday, and I realized that brown trout is more likely to bite a minnow-looking lure compared to a stocked rainbow trout, and that only makes sense, obviously, because these guys are probably. The brown trout is apparently more aggressive. Nope, got stuck on the rock. No, please come off. Hold on. Apparently, brown trout are also more aggressive, and there's a high chance they've been in the water longer. Oh God, I'm stuck on the rock. I really don't want to be walking around here. Hold on, guys. We're in the river now. Oh, this sucks. Hold on. Might have to figure out how to stream from my iPhone my GoPro, because I'm walking around with this giant phone. There's a bunch of old timers around me. They're gonna think I'm a Russian agent. I would not be surprised. Come on, just come off, dude. At this point, I'm basically in the water. This is. I don't know why or how I got it stuck, but I need to get it unstuck. So yeah, if this is not a typical Grumpy Orca stream, I don't know what this is. All right, come on. I really got a stock welted this time. Look at this thing. It's out there. I don't know how you guys can see it. Here. You see it on the rock? You see it right there on the rock? No bueno. That's how you say it in French. Oh, I really don't want to dip my hands in there. All right, well, let's see if I can get it loose. Hold on, guys. You see it's right there. All right, I'm gonna take my glove off. I'm just gonna have to reach in there because I'm not losing that lure. It's basically just a trout magnet jerk bait, but not only do I not want to pollute, I also don't want to spend more money. Wow. Okay, here it is. Jeez. This sucks. I just walked across this stream that I was fishing. I'm not sure if this is good or bad for fishing, but I don't think it's great. We're gonna go back to fishing with the gulp minnow. That was a great trip though. The water is cold. I'm gonna say the water is about 34 degrees based on our last outing. I do have a thermometer with me. Maybe we should check it. I'm gonna speak French eventually, I know. That's what I'm trying to say. Well, by that time, the YouTube is gonna be so good that they're probably just gonna translate all the live streams into English. I'm actually quite confident that might happen. All right, hold on, let me get out of here. Also, by the way, if you guys ever get these cool wool gloves, don't keep your hooks around them because once it hooks into a wool glove, it's gonna rip it apart. There's like no other way about it. I think I'm the only rod fisherman here today. Everybody else is fly fishing. Alrighty, let me check the chat. Let me put on a different lure. Let's see what happens. Hey. Yeah, I know. Everybody's speaking French now because of Gilles. He's like a secret agent here. What's going on, DCP? All right, DCP, new rules for Grumpy Orca fishing. We no longer keep any brown trout. I felt bad about keeping that guy yesterday. We're gonna try fishing. Well, we finished fishing with. This is made by Ian, one of my subscribers. So let's see if this actually might work. And then maybe we'll try gulp minnow, and then we'll try something else. Maybe I'll try a salmon nag too. This is just a 2-pound line on my Daiwa Presso. You guys know the rod. You guys know the rod. Oh, TikTok allows it already? Well, I figure TikTok's gonna do. TikTok's always very, very much ahead of everybody on everything. Like I think YouTube realized how behind they were with an Instagram with the shorts. Once they saw how nice the shorts are, I mean how nice the editing is on TikTok. I was told that TikTok always had the best video editor. That's how people flock to it. If I catch a trout on this thing that Ian sent me, I'm gonna be beyond myself. I need to dress them a little better in my box. Yeah, so DCP, I already said it today, but I was on the fence about keeping that fish yesterday, but I haven't had a brown trout in about. The last brown trout I caught was a stocked brown trout in New York. I have a picture of my kid with it on my. I think we caught it in the late spring, early summer, and that was definitely a stocked fish, so we kept it. So I caught this brown trout, and my kid loves eating fish, but then I kind of felt bad about it. I decided not to keep any more browns, no matter because I don't want to run a chance of keeping a wild brown. Even though they're not native, they're still like. I think nobody stocks rainbows anymore, but private clubs stock browns. So I figured if a private club is nice enough to come in here and put a fish in here, I'm gonna catch it, release it nicely, and so other people can catch it. Because there's about 18,000 rainbow trout swimming around from the state. I'll eat those. Anyways, we're gonna try fishing. I'm gonna try one more time with Ian's lure. Hopefully, it comes in today. Notice how YouTube with the YouTube Create for video short editing. I actually didn't know that tool exists. I gotta check it out. There's so many different things. It's almost like a full-time job to do all this stuff. So that's why, you know what? That's why now I just get lost. There's YouTube edits, and I think YouTube will give you more views. I mean, Instagram will give you more views if you use their platform. Hold on, I'm just gonna throw this in. So yeah, this one was made by my subscriber and sent to me. For those of you who don't know, it's a beautiful lure. I have a whole bag, and DCP, I gotta give you a couple. You know what? Let's try something else. Let's try this thing. Different color. This is the color that worked for me on the rainbow trout last time. On one of the live streams, I used this Z-Man thing similar to this. Hey, what's going on, Demon? Yeah, 2 more months, but spring stocking, this fish is going to be smaller. That's the only problem. All right, so once again, we're using Ian's lure. They're really well made. I don't like to make stuff up, no matter what. I always say I can't be bought, but I got to give it to Ian. They're really well made for a homemade lure. Of course, I didn't put it on correctly. Hold on. They're like on par. I'm not gonna say they're just as good as Z-Man, but they're like 90% as good as Z-Man. Z-Man, just the only reason I'm giving it to Z-Man is because they have that elastic plastic thing, and they're so hardy. All right, Jim says, hey, what's going on, Victor? And Jim says, all I have ever fished with for trout is salmon eggs. I keep them from the salmon and make my own spawn bags with 5 eggs per sec. Oh, nice. Please send me that picture. I have an unlimited supply of real salmon eggs because my father-in-law goes to upstate New York to salmon fish. So if I can get as many salmon eggs as I want. I have fake salmon eggs in my bag. But yeah, he actually salts them. So what I noticed, if you use a lot of salt, you can make them almost as good as they become very hardy, and they will never come off the hook. They become like very sticky, and I think that's why people love using them. They become very sticky, and the shell becomes very stiff. I'd say they're even more hardy than the stuff you buy at the stores. All right, a couple more casts. Now, actually, I'm going to try salmon eggs. You never know. Oh, that was a very dangerous cast. I almost cast it on that tree. But I just wanted to thank everybody for showing up today. Oh, no, I thought it was a fish. Oh, I got so excited. Uh-oh. Well, it's the same rock I hooked on with my other rod. So I guess you can say I caught a big one today twice. I let it go. Oh, here it is. All right, good. All right. But if you're wondering what kind of hook I'm using, it's the same thing I used yesterday. It's 1/64 ounce Trout magnet jig head. It's a super light jig head. It's probably the lightest one you can buy at Walmart. And I think that's as light as they make them. And I like them because they fall slower, they have better action. And I'm just going to drag it through the water column. All right, let's try the gulp minnow. So we used I promised Thule Springs I was going to use his lures. I'm going to use them again today before we leave. Just trying to catch him. More ice and snow. How's the weather in France, Jules? You have a beautiful koi pond, man. Send me a picture of it. You use them without any brine? Just raw from the fish. Oh, you're talking, yeah, the salmon eggs. So Jim uses salmon eggs without any brine, raw from the fish, freeze them, and I can use them for the year. Hey, what's going on, Jordan? Jordan Opal 8646. Let's see, do I have? How about this? Let's hit him with the gulp minnow first, and then if we don't catch a fish, we'll try them salmon eggs. I saw a guy yesterday who gave me a really good tip, and I like it. We were talking to him during a live stream. He told me to use a fly fishing lure, like a European nymph, and use them on a bobber on a regular reel and rod, which is really. Sorry about that. My dad called me. Let's see. Perfect stream for a map spinner. I do have a map spinner on me, and it's brand new. I think I do have a map spinner. It's either in the car or it's in my chest bag. Let's see. I wanted to buy that map spinner with a little fish on it, but they're so pricey. They're like $10. I had it in my hand, but I was like, nah, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to get upset. And chances are you're going to see it on the live stream. So I'm sure that's going to give me some views, but just in case my kids watch it later. I'm gonna get upset if I lose a $10 maps. So I do have some. I think I have a map spinner in my chest bag. I'll check. But yeah, I do love the map spinners. They're really well made. In Europe, they're super popular. They're so popular that they caught a huge group of people making AAA fakes of them and selling them in Eastern Europe, which is not surprising. So this is what we caught a nice brown trout on yesterday. Just a, just a gulp minnow, 2.5 inch black shad with that little red jig head. That's what we had 3 bites, we had 3 fish on, and we landed 1. It was a beautiful brown. Hey, what's going on, Hawaii? Sir Edward. Which island from Hawaii are you from? If I had to guess, I'm going to say it's going to be Oahu, but you never know. My favorite one is Kauai. That's the wildest one. That's where you have the highest chances of unaliving yourself by going down the wrong trail. Blue fox, yeah, the blue fox are great. All of them are truly great. If you put them in the water where, like right here, it's super pressured. Like I was fishing here yesterday. I had 3 guys around me, and I'm fishing here today. And once again, there's at least 3-4 guys around me. So even with all that pressure, we still caught a fish. But if you come to if you walk in far, and you don't have pressured waters, you can land yourself a beautiful fish with a spinner right away. I'm gonna throw a spinner on my other rod. There's a couple of holes we can fish on the way back. I'm swimming this gulp minnow right now. Super slow. That's how I caught a fish yesterday. And for those of you that don't know, fish are super slow to bite right now. I felt like I almost was hooking into like a little log. They were not even fighting back, like a little branch. They were not really fighting me. Let's keep trying. Colorado, nice. What's going on, Jeff from Colorado? What's going on, Venezuela? Oh man, I'm glad you have internet, man. There's the wild stuff going on. Oh no, it's not. You're not from Venezuela. This is Gilles. Anyways, what creek you on? Ooh, I am fishing in a creek in New Jersey. That's all I can tell you, and it's somewhere on Raton River. I don't wanna get beat up and stabbed in the parking lot by the old timers for telling me where I am. Although everybody probably knows about this spot. Well, not everybody, but there's at least 5 people fishing here at any given time. It's a part of a Raton River, not the polluted one. Ooh, I think I see a fish. Hold on. Even with my polarized glasses, I still can't see fish. But I think I just saw one. And this is where we caught that brown yesterday. So let me try it. I just saw a fish right there. Nope. Oh, I don't know what that was. No, it wasn't a fish. We got ourselves a little leafy leaf. Anyways, I appreciate everybody. And in case you're enjoying the stream so far, I know we haven't caught anything. Don't forget to double tap that screen for a like, or just give me a like if you're watching from a desktop. It'd be greatly appreciated. So not having much luck today as of yet. I'm thinking, hold on. I'm gonna switch. My last resort at this spot is gonna be salmon eggs. We can always hit the spot on the way back. I just want to get to the other side of this river and walk it. There's a beautiful hole right there up ahead. We fished it yesterday with the jerkbait. Maybe I should go over there and fish. I am processing. Let's see what we can do here. I'm wondering if the 3 fish I had on yesterday were all the same fish, and I finally caught it on the third one, on the third hookup. But I would assume there's more fish here. They're really slow, just really to myself. What's going on outdoors with, who's that? Durianis. What's going on, Bessie? What's going on, Alfie? I haven't caught anything yet. We started fishing about 20 minutes ago, so. And we're fishing for trout, so. It's gonna be a slow day. But there's definitely fish here. We just need to throw the right thing in. All right. So I'm gonna do 2 more casts, and then I'll try artificial salmon eggs. I have those Mike's salmon eggs. I like to twitch a gulp minnow. That's the method that works for me. Add a nymph fly behind the jig, gets better attention. You're not wrong about that. Let me, I was thinking about doing that. So I met a guy yesterday that was saying he fishes with a reel and rod, and he's not a fly fisherman, but he was telling me that he's. Oh, I just had something just went after our minnow. Hold on. You know what? It might not be a trout, but let's see if we can get that guy in. Super slow reel. Nope. Hold on. Yeah, I just kind of ignored the chat there. But yeah, I met a guy yesterday. He told me that he uses 2 euro nymphs on a bobber, on a regular rod, and absolutely slays them. What's going on, Basic Truth? I have no idea what you're saying, but hope you're having a good one. The only thing I want to do is if I'm going to use salmon eggs. Jim, if you're in the chat, when you fish salmon eggs, do you use a bobber or not to float them? Sometimes I like to bring a gulp minnow over a rock and just let it drop naturally, and the fish usually will think that it has that natural drop to it, and that's when I sometimes get a strike. I think most of the strikes you get on a drop if you fish with a gulp minnow, at least with bass. Did have more bites here yesterday. Let's do a couple more casts and switch. You don't use a float? All right. We might get snagged, but who knows? All right, one more cast. All right, let's see what kind of salmon eggs I got in my chest pack. We'll fish this spot for like 5 more minutes, and then we're gonna get going. I need head pheasant tail nymph around 2-inch drop leader, very common in Idaho, but ours are way bigger. Yeah, I'm sure you guys probably have a ton of wild fish too. Unfortunately, in Jersey, we do not. Yeah, I can't wait. After this, I'm gonna go and check out what Jim sent me. You know what I really want to try? That what's his name told me to try. I never get fish on these, but I have this pack in my chest pack, and a lot of guys swear by these. So let's try a mice tail. I've caught a bass once. My kid likes to use them. I'm not a big fan of using them because I've never caught a fish. Maybe once, okay? All right, let's check. And the way they're made is not the best. Look. All right, I think I can hook it like this. Yeah, there you go. Let's try it. Actually, maybe we'll bury that thing deeper. Here. All right, how about that? Let's try it. I'll be damned if I catch something on this thing. No, I was going to use salmon eggs, but it's just, my squirrel mentality got the better of me. I don't think a broad trout would bite something like this. throw it in the hole. Throw it in the hole. Can read the chat. 2 or 3 BB 5 split shots about 24-inch from 10-inch hook. Throw across the stream river and let it bounce off the bottom, running with the current. All right, hold on. I memorized that. Hey, Ronyo, what's up? What's going on? What's going on, Ivan? What's going on, Last Trooper Gaming? What's going on? Kaylee Ruggs. Wow, look how many people popped in. I appreciate you guys being here with me. Who else is here? Oh yeah, that's right. Today is Orthodox Christmas. My dad celebrates that. Oh, I gotta call him. Thank you, Ivan. You reminded me. Jeez. I think my mom celebrates that too. I'm not sure. I know I'm not much of a religious guy, but I gotta call my pops. Thanks, Ivan. Maybe that's why he was calling me in the morning. Just working, ready to go fishing. Like I said, I've never caught like a nice sized rainbow with a mice tail. I'm not even sure if I ever caught I definitely caught like a bass or a bluegill on it. I remember buying a whole pack of them and never catching fish and swearing off of them. But lo and behold, my kid always catches fish with them. Let's see, who else is here? Hey, what's going on, F4C? So not today, but yesterday, this is the hole I caught the brown trout in. But look, F4C, that's where I'm fishing with right now. I think you approve of this kind of bait. I gotta take some notes from you and Jim about salmon eggs. It seems like all the guys that catch fish nonstop use salmon eggs. I'm not gonna, hold on. Oh, had a branch, a little branchy branch. Nice. I'm fishing in Jersey. Now, F4C, let me ask you a question. Do you ever twitch them or you always just slow retrieve them? Oh no, I have a little knot in my line. We're fishing in Jersey, for those that are asking, that are just getting in here. Because I had really bad luck with mice tails all my life. And the only reason I'm trying a mice tail right now is because you told me to do it. And I know you have more experience trout fishing in Jersey than I do by far. My last bait here is going to be salmon eggs. All right, hold on. I'm going to cast it up the stream and let it come down. I think there's a little hole there. Hold on, let me get closer. I think the best way not to run into people here, I might have to cross this river downstream and just walk. It's always weird to, oh, wow, okay, that was close. Almost cast it into a tree. Cast into a tree. Hold on. Okay, that's as good as it's gonna get for me in terms of casting. Surprisingly, it sinks pretty quickly. Mouse tails, I let it naturally drift and then the drift, I'll twitch it a few times. Got it. All right, so let's naturally drift it. Doop. If it will drift. I think because I'm using a 1/64,000 jig head, it's sinking a little bit. unfortunately. I'm really surprised how many guys are fishing here today. This is just like a random Wednesday, and there's about at least 5 people around me. As you know, like every time we go fishing, there's usually nobody around us. All right, so the problem is, well, let me cast it into a stronger current. How about that? Yep. Oh, I just wrapped around a tree branch. Okay, yeah, so my problem was the current wasn't very strong, that's why. But now, it's drifting. Just gonna let it go. Philip Correa says, do any of you guys in Jersey use trout magnet jigs? Up here in Massachusetts, they're incredible. Yes, I'm using a trout magnet hook right now. I have a whole box of trout magnet in my pack. I might actually try them here. But I feel like fish are so pressured here. All right, I'm stuck on something. All right, let's let it drop. I just got it out. I'm stuck to like I think a little branch. Let me see. Let's see what we got. Something's on. Yeah, hold it. Little baby branch. It's a branch fish. All right. I know there's fish here. Maybe they just don't want to bite. Hey, what's going on, Jason J? All right. Well, how about this? If I switch back, I want to keep this jig head just for a little bit longer. I'm going to be fishing for at least another hour. But yeah, you're right. That's why it wasn't going swimmingly. No pun intended. But let me just let it drift. I basically reel it a little bit to keep it in the current. Now, when you fish salmon eggs, you also don't use just a bare hook. I might have to try that now. I'm just thinking about which rod I'm going to do it on. Probably this one. Alrighty. Let's try it. Salmon eggs. We'll try salmon eggs. Eggs. That's how we say it in Jersey. All right. Give me a second. I can't keep up with the chat right now, so I'm sorry, guys. Don't get mad at me. All right. Try my best. Let's see. Try a spinner, maybe? Yeah, I have another rod. We're going to try a spinner on. How about this? Let me try a salmon egg on this one. Now I'm thinking, should I switch or not? Let's switch. I already made a decision. All right, hold on. So what I'm going to do is I have a Gamakatsu hook right here. Maybe there's just no fish here. All right, let me not make a mess here, so I'm going to put everything back. So this is where we caught the brown on yesterday once again. This is my 2.5-inch gulp minnow. Black shad. I'm putting this guy back in. This is where we didn't catch anything yet on. All right. And let's see what kind of... All right. That's actually what I'm using on my other rod. I have the same one. I bought the second one. All right. So we got these eggs. These are Potska balls of fire. People love those too, apparently. And we have power bait. I don't like to use power bait, but I did catch a beautiful one. Paul taught me how to make a power bait spinner. Oh no, I don't have any mics. Did I leave them? Oh no, here they are. All right, we're good. So here we go. Garlic salmon eggs by Mike. All right. All this crap fits into my chest bag, which is pretty surprising. I have like a little bait stand here. Hold on, guys. Let me get my. So the way I have my hooks, it's not the best setup, but that's how I have them in my chest bag. I'm not a professional fisherman, but I think it's the first year I'm using a chest bag. Actually, I absolutely love this thing. Well, actually, second year. All right, let's get my katsu hook on. You only put one egg? Okay, we'll put one egg on. I'll listen to what you say. You know what I did in the spring? I would put a salmon egg on and I would chase it with a little trout magnet. And we would get fish in the spring like that. But I think in the spring they just bite so much better, especially on artificial bait. So I'd make like a... one old timer told me he uses a salmon egg and then he chases it with a mealworm in the spring. He's been doing that since the 70s. Yeah, just lost my hook. I really need to learn how to use an improved clinch knot. I promised people I would do it. And now my fingers are so cold, it doesn't matter what I try. All right, hold on. All right. All right, let's do one mic egg. Mike's garlic egg. No sinker. Let's try it. I have sinkers in the pack just in case I need them. All right, my net's ready just in case we actually catch a fish. And I'm just gonna let it drift. That is a strange spot. Hold on. It doesn't drift there. Give me a sec. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw it in here. I definitely know how you fish the salmon egg F4C. It just, for some reason, I just did the same thing. I'm drifting it now. Okay, we're good. I've seen another guy fish salmon eggs in Jersey on YouTube, and he was basically just throwing them in a current and letting them go. And he was catching some serious fish. All right. Do you slow retrieve it then, or you just let it sit there? Hold on. Use a polymer, not so much easier. Here in eastern Serbia, in desperate fishing, our river froze some parts and 2 times faster, bigger than the river. Oh, wow. Let's see what F4C writes. When they stuck brookies and browns years ago, fathead minnows and meals were my go-to. But now it's salmon eggs and spinners because we only have rainbows. Yes, that is true. We only have rainbows. Well, yesterday I caught a brown, but that was probably stuck by a trout club. They do stock browns, but only for private clubs. And somehow maybe it made it down the river. That's all we need to do. Treat and the drift related and cast it again. Got it. All right. Yeah, I've never fished it like that, but it's smart. The guy that told me how to fish, we were basically doing the same thing. We were just doing it with power bait. I pulled it across, and now there's another drift here, so I'm going to let it drift here. There's a humongous hole over there, which is much bigger than this hole. Maybe we should go fish that. Nah, I'm stuck on something. Hold on. That's definitely not a fish. The only thing is different here is that I don't see any fish in the water. And I'm wearing yesterday I didn't have my polarized glasses, but today I do. And I don't see a trout. Usually, when I fish my usual spot, you can see them in the water. That's why I get frustrated, because you can see them in the water and they won't eat anything. All right, where are we stuck? Oh, here we are. All right, good. Oh, that's another thing. I forgot. Mike's salmon eggs come off really quickly. That's the thing I forgot from last time. I can see it drifting around over there. But he gone. Let's keep going. I see a sucker fish, which is funny. I see a sucker fish, but that's definitely not a trout. Sucker fish get so big here. Apparently they're really good eating if you smoke them. Give me a second, guys. That's the problem with wool gloves. You get stuck. You'd always get stuck. Hold on. I have a wool glove and my Gamakatsu hook just went in it. And the only way to get it out is to use these. All right, now I got some wool on my thing. This is great. This is great. I do love these half gloves I got on Black Friday. All right, keep walking. One day I gotta come here and just spend a whole day here walking down the stream, because I think that's where the fish is gonna be. I don't think I'm gonna catch much. Just stick it right next to the parking lot. That's usually how it works, right? The further you go, the more fish you catch. I'm just gonna use one salmon egg, just like F4C told me. All right. Alrighty. Let's walk upstream a little bit. A little bit. A little bit. You just throw it in the current. Oh, there's actually a little hole over there. Let me try fishing that. Yeah, should have tried this before. All right, I'm gonna throw it in that current right there. I gotta tell you one thing, compared to fall fishing, the trout is so much healthier. The fish that I got yesterday was so healthy. Remember how I was complaining about trout fishing in the fall? All the fish was barely alive. I just gotta stretch my line out. 1 second. We're about to go trolling, guys, because if I can't catch anything here, I've been here for almost an hour. We're gonna go on a little trip. All right, I'm just gonna let it go down the current. We're gonna go on a little trippy trip. Surprising how far it went. That was pretty good. Thanks, F4C. I appreciate your advice, man. That worked out. It worked. It went basically the whole length of the stream, so I see exactly why this works. All right, let's keep moving. Let's do it one more time. I really want to change the spot up. Yes, I am a king of terrible casts. That is true. Huh. All right, we're gonna move up the river a little bit. I'm gonna do one more cast and see what happens. It's amazing how fast time flies by when you fish. It's almost like 2 hours feel like 10 minutes. All right, let me bring it back. All right. Let's walk up a little bit. I'm just gonna hide all my stuff. I want to cross the river and walk up. Don't you have to keep your bail open for it to drift out? I'm not sure, but I think that's how I usually do it. But hey, I'm always eager to learn, man. Maybe that's why I don't catch any fish. Nah, it's all good, man. I don't get upset. I lived at a firehouse for 10 years. There's nothing you can tell me to get me upset. Let's see. Let us see. I also have this one. That's the one I bought the other day. All right, let's put everything back in order. I'm actually going to keep these salmon eggs handy, and everything else I'll just assemble so we can go for a little trip. I don't know where I put the weights that I had. For some reason I'm not seeing them. Got it. But when you throw it upstream and let it drift, how do you get more line so it goes down deeper? Don't you have to keep your bail open? I'm wondering. I can't believe it, but I think I forgot my, you know what I forgot? I think I forgot the little, again, I did it. I think I forgot the little weights, the split shot weights that are like 1/64 of an ounce. And I made a big deal about taking them today. I guess I maybe left them in the car. All right. Let's see. All right, off we go. I'm gonna trek up the river and find a couple of holes. Hey, what's going on, Thule? What's going on, Ian? We fished with your lures in the beginning of the stream. I'm gonna walk for about a minute or two. I'll see if I can see any fish in the water. What I really should do is I should get here earlier, and I should track at least a quarter mile upstream, because I feel like we're fishing waters that are either too pressured or old. But at the same time, we caught a brown trout yesterday, so. I don't see any fish. Let's see. Ah. Wow. It is slippery out here. Let me see if I can see any fish in the water. Huh, there's a little hole here. But I would see them by now, and I don't see anything. Let's try casting there. Just gonna throw the salmon egg in. Yeah, I mean, never know. Let's try it. Yep, got stuck on the rock. Bring it back. Let's see. Let's see. So I'm listening to the stream while I fish as well. Oh, nice. Did you catch any fish yet? Looks like a good spot. Yeah, it is a good spot. I would see fish if these were stock rainbows here. We would see them by now. And you know, this is a super pressured spot, so I would definitely see them by now. And I seen because they're big now. They're at least 2 pounds. Well, some of them are 1.5 pounds. Because full stock fish is big. I'm coming back to the spot tomorrow again. I will not be content until I catch me a big boy. Like this would be a spot to catch a fish. The only problem here is this is also going to be snack city for us. Look at all these trees. We're definitely getting snagged here. Nope. I'm going to try to cast it along that log. No, F4C is helping out. It's all good, man. I come from an Eastern European culture. If you think that's being mean, you know, my piano teacher when I was about, and this person didn't know my parents, but she was just working at a piano school. When I was a kid, and she was like normal, she would like beat the crap out of me because I wasn't playing the piano right. So like I said, I'm definitely easy when it comes to that stuff. I don't mind people yelling at me. It's all good. Or just teaching. That's what I mean. They need to respect. Hey, all I can ask for you guys, just don't fight in my chat because I took zero offense to F4C. And I appreciate you looking out for me, man. Dude, I have 2 kids. My tolerance for stuff like that is so high. And I used to work in emergency services that... and plus, if you're just teaching, like if you go through a fire academy, it's not like military, but it's a tough place to learn. And if you don't learn something, it's your life. So you'll get yelled at. So I did not think F4C was being mean at all. The only problem with me is I'm a terrible student, as I found out over and over again. So chances are F4C, yeah, there's a long road ahead of him. If he wants to teach me how to fish. All right. So this spot is no bueno. As for now. Yeah, no, F4C's good. He's a he's a good guy. He's from Jersey, actually. He can probably catch 10 trout here with the stuff I have in my hands. He grew up in Jersey fishing with his pops, and he probably even knows the spot I'm fishing at. It's all good, man. Let us all be friends in 2026. But I appreciate everybody looking out for me. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move upstream a little bit, and we're gonna try fishing with a salmon egg. The only problem with fishing with a salmon egg now, if I see fish, I'll start throwing salmon eggs out, and we'll try jerkbait. But I don't think F4C. You think jerkbait works in water like that? I mean, let's try it. I just know what's gonna happen. There's a log in the water there, and I think I'm gonna get stuck on it. All right, let's try it. Speaking of F4C, he's the guy that taught me how to fish a jerkbait. All right, but I'm just gonna let it drift a little bit before I start reeling it. It does swim beautifully. I haven't heard of anybody using a trout. Uh-oh. Well, I almost got stuck on that log I was talking about. Give me a sec. I'm just gonna let it drift a little bit. And then I'm gonna put my rod tip down. All right, nah. All right, let's keep moving. I think the reason everybody's here right now is because there is a fish. I just realized that there is a fish that if you catch that fish, you get $500. That's been released here, and they posted it on Facebook, which is actually how I found the spot. I could care less about that $500 fish, but I'm so happy I found that spot. I'm so happy I found this spot because you have 5G here, and it's a beautiful spot to fish. Look at this place. I mean, actually, we're going to put a spinner on here. We're going to use a spinner here. I feel like it's slow-moving water. And, yeah, I think this is a good place for a spinner. I'm going to use jerkbait a couple more times. And then we'll throw a spinner on. I don't think I have a map spinner on me today, but I have something. Spinner, and then we'll use a gulp minnow. I'm just gonna stand next to that rock right there. Oh, and there's deep holes here too, so we can. Muskie is your favorite river? This is not Muskie, but the guy actually that I watched the video of fishing with salmon eggs, that was in the Muskie River. Ooh, that kind of flew far away. Right tip down. Huh. I go with so many hooks when fishing trout. The fish seem to always be around the snags. No, that's absolutely true. That's where they hide. That's what I also noticed, Jim. All right. Where is it? Oh, here it is. You know what? I think I know why fish like to buy these jerkbaits, especially rainbow trout, because this looks like a baby brown trout, and I'm sure rainbow trout doesn't like brown trout, and vice versa. So the reason you get that's my theory. The reason you get heavy bites on these is due to them just being different species and not liking each other. They're both aggressive, predatory fish. So I'm basically throwing a baby brown trout in the water that's full of stocked rainbows. But then there's a problem because these rainbows are stocked. So what do they know about eating baby trout? They were eating pellets all their life. I think all the guys that were fishing around me all went upstream. So I think what I got to do, if I can get out here tomorrow and I can get out here early, I got to go upstream because that's where the fish is, I think. But I've never seen a nice deep river like this. It's much better than my usual spot. My usual spot has a couple of holes, but there's 5 guys at every hole. Hold on. Creating a bird nest now. Yeah, I'm doing super slow retrieve. I'm really hoping. But this is also a great place for a spinner. So there is a 7-pound fish. Just to tell you the fish's name, I think they even named the fish. It's called Bubba something. And they released that fish here about 2 weeks ago, I think. It was released by, I think, a shop, which is a great way to also advertise, not only help the community. But yeah, it was awesome that they did that. So basically, they have a tag in that fish, and if you catch it, you have to release the fish. You have to have a video of catching the fish. And then, if you bring that into the store, ooh, look at that. We got some bobbers around. We're not the only people that fish here. How many bobbers can you count? I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Are those bobbers? No, those are not bobbers anymore. Yeah, the water is super calm. Well, I appreciate the enthusiasm. Let's try to get one here. I really want to leave myself an extra. I don't know how I did this. This is where I got frustrated. So I never figured out how to clear one of these bird nests on my reels, but I'm just gonna go up towards it. Somebody gave me advice on how to do it, but being my natural self, I forgot how to do it. No, I got to reel slower. Yeah, so to repeat myself, there's a fish out here that has a tag in it. It's about 7 pounds. It's about 7 pounds. It's a rainbow trout, I believe. I don't think it's a brown. And if you catch it, you got to take the tag out of it. You got to release the fish. And if you bring tag into the store, you get $500. I'm not sure if you get store credit. All right, I don't know how to undo this. But I'm going to do this at home because I can't do this right now. It still flies pretty far. I'm not even reeling it. Don't open the bail, loosen the drag, and just pull it out from the side. See, yes, that's exactly what, I think even you told me that. Now the question is, when you say pull it to the side, my dumbass doesn't know what that means. Like, so you just pull it that way? Ah, I see what you're saying. Hold on. We're going to do it. We're going to do it live. Ronnie, I appreciate it. Let me try it. I am working. I think the only brain cell I have in my brain is vibrating really hard right now. Oh, you saw that? How did that happen? All right, let me do it. Hold on. Jokes aside, I'm going to try this. Okay, so now we have the snag. So close the bail. And Ronio says to pull it to the side. This? All right. Hold on. So now what? Do I just pull the whole thing to the side? All right, look at this thing. We're making it bigger. Hold on. Hold on. Is this how... Oh, wait. The man is a genius. Hold on. This actually worked out. Well, not... Did it work out? I don't know. Maybe I should just get a new line. Thanks, Ronio, though. You gave me some confidence to try this. Watch. Given the previous streams, I think I'm going to catch a trout while I'm doing this. That's what happened last streams. At least you gave me the confidence to try, man. I wasn't going to do this if it wasn't for you. Let's see. Ah, I think we're good. Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, we did it. All right, awesome. Thanks. I can't believe I did that. I have no idea where my jerkbait is now, but we're going to find it. All right, F4C, thanks for hanging out, dude. I appreciate you. All right, I hope everything's good with you, and I'll try to catch you on one of your streams today. All right, guys, we actually managed to get this thing out. Thanks again. All right, let me see what time it is right now. 2. All right, here's what we're going to do. Oh, I'm going to do 2 more casts here, and we're going to start tracking back to my car. And I really wish I had like 5 hours to fish here, which is what those guys are probably doing, but maybe I can park somewhere upstream next time. We caught ourselves a big one, though. I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to undo my jerkbait, but I'm basically undoing a giant thing of there we go. Look at this fish. This is what we hooked in while I was fixing my line. All right, well, I do appreciate you, Rania. I appreciate so much for helping me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the other side of the stream for a couple more casts. And let's try it. Oh, I'm so happy you helped me. Thank you, man. Just can't forget my other rod. Oh, I didn't see you come in, Robert Twigstrom. What's going on, Tommy Uroshenko? Uroshenko? I don't know how you say your name, but what's going on, man? What's the biggest fish I ever caught? I can't give you the way, but the biggest fish I ever caught was my wife, man. She's still with me all these years. But all jokes aside, I did catch a nice striper. But that was, I don't think it counts. It was off a charter boat about 15 years ago. I don't think those count. I always feel like every time I go on a charter boat, it was just me and a bunch of buddies from the fire department. I feel like every time I go on a charter, it's like fake fishing. Because you basically get put on the fish, somebody gives you a rod, and all you got to do is reel in. I caught a striper on Montauk. I think it was like 20 pounds. I think with every month somebody asks me that question, the fish gets bigger. Okay, buddy. No, Ryan, dude, you help me out. What happens to me is I get frustrated. And I feel like when I get frustrated, I just rage quit. But I tried it, and it worked out, man. Because if this happened to me on a regular day, I probably wouldn't even try that. I probably just kind of try to pull the line out and cut it. Oh, this is such a beautiful spot. I can imagine people catching a lot of fish here. Not me, but this is such a pretty spot. We're going to start tracking back. Like I said, I have to be in my vehicle in the next 20, 25 minutes. But I appreciate everybody hanging out. If you can give me a like, I'd also appreciate that. You can double tap the screen if you didn't do so yet. I think we're going to be back to the spot tomorrow, but what I'm going to do is, before I start streaming, I'm actually going to take a ride down the street and see how good the connection is. We're just going to walk it in, and I'm going to start streaming maybe a quarter mile down. And I think that's where the fish is going to be. At least that's what I'm looking for. I can't believe we showed up and I just caught a beautiful brown trout yesterday. And all of a sudden, I thought this was the best spot ever. What I'll do today, though, is on my way out, I'm going to pick up those nasty boots that somebody left laying next to the tree. This way, maybe it'll improve my karma for the next fishing day. You never know. I just don't see any fish in the water. Usually you'll see the stocked rainbows that are really easy to spot in the water. Because this is not where they live, so you see them. But not here. Oh, is that a fish? No, it wasn't a fish. Just stuck on the rock. Alrighty, let's go get the other rod. I'm going to throw a jig head on it. And I'll throw a gulp minnow. This way on our way out, we can try and get a, maybe we'll get something, you never know. All right, I think this place looks pretty good to cross. Whew. That's a beautiful spot though, look at this place. Hey, what's going on? I didn't see that guy come in, I'm sorry. What's going on, Ivan? Welcome back, man. Wait, Ivan, do you guys have limitations in Serbia, right? Do they limit a fishing season like they do in Poland? Can you still go fishing before June? Because I know some European countries, they are like stop fishing around December 31st, and you can't go back fishing until June. I'm just asking because I know they're pretty strict about it over there. Not that people don't break the law, but still. All right. Hold on. Here we go. I want to throw a jig head on. I have hope that in the next 15 minutes, well, more like 20 minutes, we can catch a fish. And I think the only way I'm going to do it, based on my previous experience, is with a trout magnet. But we'll be back out here tomorrow. I'm going to start off with Ian's lures again. I'm going to bring some different ones. And we'll progress from there. Hold on. The only problem is I can't see anything because of the phone. Let me get a new fresh trout magnet. So just so you guys can see what I'm doing. Just picking a lure, picking a hook. Ah, great. Just lost it. For trout, we have limit and time limit. Well, I appreciate that. Oh, the guy that was talking about farting. Whoever put him in timeout, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for that. And I'm sorry, I'm not catching fish. I get so excited. The days I come back, I get so excited. I catch a fish, come back to the same spot. It's like I'm like a little kid, I'm telling you. And then I come back to the same spot, and I expect to catch a fish. And of course, we all know how that goes. And I even give myself more time. And then next thing you know is no fish. It is no fish. For trout, we have a limit. It's from October, May, or June. Got it. We need to get Grampy back out there. What do you say? We had a... Thanks for saying that. I appreciate it, Robert. I appreciate you, Jim and Robert and everybody else. Yeah, no, I'm telling you, I think that's a trait that I would never want my son to have. I think that's the reason hold on. I'm 40 now, so I can definitely look back at my life and say that confidently. I think that's the main reason that I didn't get into med school. You get frustrated and you just like rage quit. Shouldn't do that. Should not do that. All right, here's what we're gonna do. I see a fisherman coming up. Honestly, I thought he was holding a baby on his chest. That's just a chest pack, but it just looked like a baby. All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna run to that hole that I fished yesterday at the beginning on my way to the car. And we'll try this. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. I appreciate you. We'll definitely be out tomorrow. I can fish for at least another 15 minutes. I don't want to climb over that hill because who knows, might be a beaver house. Next thing you know, you're going to be fighting it out on the side of the street. All right, hold on. I don't want to slip. Hold on. All right, give me a second. Let me try it here. I really have high hopes for this spot, but with a gulp minnow and a little weight. All right, let's try it. All right, this is good. This is good. Hold on. We might get stuck here, but you know what? I was actually wrong. That guy was. Oh, yeah, we did get stuck. I knew it. I was wrong. That guy was actually holding a baby. That wasn't a chest pack. He was just walking by me. God. All right. Where did we get stuck? All right. Grumpy Orca is about to go swimming. See, Jim? You're right about that. Whew. Oh, this is an ash tree. You know how I know? You see these little things? So you see these little paths in the tree? That's actually made by the ash-borne beetle from Japan. And this is an ash tree, and that's what destroyed the entire ash tree population in New Jersey, including about 10 trees on my property. They basically make these bores in the tree, and that's how the tree can no longer pull water from the ground. And the tree slowly dies. You end up seeing less and less leaves. And eventually it just completely dies off and comes down. So that's the reason this tree is probably in the river. That's Japanese, I think it's called the green beetle or something. Or ash-borne beetle. I'm just gonna, woo, look at that. I got him out. All right, we got the trout magnet out, and I got to tell you about the ash tree to confuse you as to why we're not catching any fish. But actually, you can probably fish between these trees. There's actually a hole over there. Whoop. I'm just a little fish. I bet you've never seen anybody do that before. There's a hole there. I'm just fishing swimmingly. All right, let's not do that because I know what's going to happen. We're just going to end up getting snagged again. That's actually a cool spot. If there's fish there, you can just come there with some trout bait, with the power bait, and catch it. Anyways, let's get out of here. Yeah, that Japanese beetle really did a number in Jersey, New York, and Connecticut. They basically killed off all of the ash trees that are native to the land here. Almost as bad as the lanternfly. At least lanternflies don't kill trees. They're just a nuisance. All right, hold on. Let me put my glove back on. I'm a little cold. Hey, Paul, what's going on? I don't think you're allowed to use treble hooks here either. But if it's a jerk bait, I think you can. I'm not sure though. You know what? Let me shut up and not talk because I might be giving you wrong information. But I don't ever fish with treble hooks here. I've seen them for sale in stores though. But I think trebles mostly just go on those jerk baits and stuff. That's what I think. You know what? This is not a bad spot right here either. Oh yeah, you should never do this. Never hold your other rod between your legs and cast. You know how I learned that lesson? Trial and error. Hold on. I'm going to check the chat in a second, guys. We're basically heading back home, but before we go home, I want to cast a few times. We're going to be we got 10 more minutes we can fish for. I can't believe I caught that brown yesterday just so randomly, and today there's nothing. But I guess that's how it goes. Learned something new today. Oh, well, thanks, Gar. Paul, it is so good to see you, man. Paul, can you please tell, as you probably know, my memory is no bueno. I'm like a goldfish. Can you please tell me when you're live streaming so I can't forget and don't miss it? Please. I mean, that Gulp Minnow, man, he's like a pole dancer. He's doing all the tricks. All right, we're going to try to keep it PG-13, but let me tell you, if there was a brown trout out there, he'd be probably throwing dollar bills at it. So my assumption is that there is no brown trout in this water right now, or a rainbow trout. It's swimming very beautifully. All right, let's keep moving. Let this keep on moving. I got it, Ivan. I see you. All right, hold on. I'm going to go up so I can read the chat and catch up to you guys. Let's see what you guys said. That beetle almost caused us to go bankrupt in the housing industry. Can you explain that? Is that because of cost of... But that, see, ash trees are not really some... How does that relate to the lumber? I don't know when to start live streaming. There's a thin layer of ice here. One more cast? I said that about... Usually one more cast means at least... well, it depends how badly I want to get yelled at by my wife. On the days where I feel like I got a good chance of not getting yelled at, I think one more cast is about 20 casts. But on the days where I know the fuse is very short, one more cast is about 5 casts, right? And when she tells me not to even come home, one more cast ends up being an extra 3 hours of sitting in my car and fishing. So you know, sometimes not too bad. Oh, you did already shot me? Nice. What's going on, Lake Tone? I'm just catching up to the chat now. Well, welcome to the stream, Lake Tone Goosen. Welcome to the live stream. We do a lot of fishing, not sure if we do a lot of catching, but sometimes we do. Oh, cost of lumber. Okay, now I understand. Because I know the main lumber is dog fir, right? That's what at least I used to sell in my supply house. But I remember when the prices went nuts. I remember that. All right, we're almost there. I've had one more cast get me in trouble with the wife many times. One more cast lasted an hour before. Yep, Robert. I've been with my wife. Well, I've known her since we were kids, and I can see her point too. But yes, if I get yelled at for something in my life, that's usually for fishing. I'm pretty lucky not to get yelled at for anything else. So I guess I have it pretty good. Not yet. Not yet. We haven't caught anything. What's going on, Hesamonic? Yeah. I think if the worst trouble, like if women don't understand it, like I said, if you guys know, I'm a private driver, so I see a lot of vices. And you know what? If your man, the worst thing he can do is go fishing, and he don't tell you about it, baby, you have it good. I'm not gonna say anything, but my best paying jobs are usually jobs where I drive these well-to-do gentlemen to a private club, and yeah, all we want to do is just go fishing. You know what I'm saying? We just wanna wet the rod, man, and it costs us nothing. Oh wait, I think I should show this fish tail. Hold on, we might get a big boy here. Hold on, I just saw a little baby fish tail. Oh, I think we're gonna get one. All right, let's go. High hopes. I think I saw a little twirly swirl. I am not kidding about that. Hold on. A little twirly swirl. And it's... Oh, that was as good of a cast as it gets right now. I cast it right under that tree. Maybe the rainbow he don't want to bite. Ah, that's not a fish. That's a snag. Oh, okay, I'm snagged. We're good. We're good to go. I'm gonna assume there's no, well, you never know. Shoot and assume, right? But I was gonna say there's probably no brown trout there, but I'm just saying that to myself to surprise myself even more if I catch one. Yeah, all right. Let's see. I've known my wife since we were 13, now we're almost 50. Yeah, so basically you've known your wife as long as I have known my wife. I've known my wife since we were 6. And that's not a fish, that's another snag. And now we're in our early 40s. So just about the same. And most women doesn't like men fishing. My girl starts also, but at the moment I can't hear any only fishing. Yeah, I know, you're on the other line, Paul. She can't call you. You're on the other line, man. But yeah, communication is important too, obviously. All jokes aside, sometimes you gotta make sure you communicate that you're just going fishing and you might be late by about an hour or two. There's a big hole right there, but I don't know what's going on over there. Ooh, howdy, brother. Hey, fish. How's the fish? Hey, Fish on Entertainment. There's the guy I like to watch. That man has more energy than my Tesla. Fishing's pretty bad today. We did catch a brown trout yesterday. I'm just gonna keep saying that to make it look like I know what I'm doing. But yeah, today no fish. No fish today. This is probably a super pressured spot because it's right next to the parking lot, and I don't see any of those old timers fishing here. So I'm gonna say that there might be one trout out here. That's not a fish. That's a snag. There might be a trout here, but who knows? All right. Oh my God. All right. You ever cast a rod out and you feel like you're definitely getting snagged, but it lands perfectly? Like, nope. Maybe not perfectly, but it didn't land on the tree. At least we got that going. All right. So what I'm going to do tomorrow, if you guys want to show up to my live stream, is well, speaking of the wife, I got to make sure my wife lets me. I might just get here and just walk in aggressively. I'm gonna walk like Peter Griffin with a purpose. I'm gonna walk in, find a spot that has good reception, and maybe like a quarter mile in from where we were fishing, up the stream, and that's where we're gonna fish. And that's when I'm gonna go live. This way I'm not boring the crap out of you, and maybe we'll go to a spot that doesn't get fished often. All right, I'll check it out, Paul. Ivan. Search up Timok's is my hometown river. Let me, once I'm done fishing, I have so much time today. Paul, sometimes the day on the water is worse, whatever your wife's dishing out. I'm just reading through your comments while my gulp minnow is doing the thing. This is Ron, but we're fine. Powering down from yesterday's stream excitement, Paul. You guys were streaming yesterday? I guess I missed it. What time were you streaming? You're from Kentucky, right? I hope I said that right. I think Fish On Entertainment is from Kentucky, because it was much colder there when Jersey was just getting cold. That's how I remember. I think you guys are from Kentucky. I'm sorry I missed your stream yesterday. Yeah, Peter Griffin's the best. Not exactly politically correct, but Peter Griffin's a fun guy. All right. At this point, I got 2 more casts in me before I really get in trouble. So I'm gonna cast it up the stream, let it come down. Ooh, I just hit that rock. Let it come down. Is Ian from Las Vegas still in the stream? If you can hear me, man, let me know. Or if you can't type, I'm just letting you know I'll be back out here tomorrow. So we're gonna start fishing with your lures first. I'll grab 2 rods, and one rod will have your lures on it, and the other one we'll try whatever. So probably around 12 o'clock my time, maybe a little earlier. I'm gonna try. I felt like I saw a fish jump over there, though. I definitely saw some movement. Oh, wait. I got ourselves a nice big boy. Oh, no, it came off. It was a branch. Don't get overexcited. Just a branch. It's still in the water. All right, let me see if I can do one more cast. Last cast. Yo, Thule. You're also backing up. All right. Well, I'll be out there. Wait, were you live streaming or not? I don't want to impede on your live stream. It's morning. Like in Vegas, what is it? 2-3 hour difference. So you were fishing all morning, basically. From what I understand. All right. I already had at least 2 last casts, so this is definitely going to be my last cast once I bring this bad boy in. Let's do it. Just right there. I feel like there's like a little hole there. And I feel like I just saw a trout chasing it. Maybe I'm just seeing a mirage. I feel like I just saw a side of a rainbow trout. But that's probably just one of those fisherman mirages. Let's do one more cast over there. You never know. Maybe something came down to... All right, well, this is the forbidden cast. Whee! to cast after you already promised yourself not to cast. Alrighty, everybody. If you forgot to double tap the screen, now's your chance to do it. But if you feel like I didn't deserve it because we didn't catch a fish, we're cool. I'm going to start heading back home. That was not a fish. Now the demons are just playing with me, man. I'm going to start heading back home. So I just want to say I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. Hold on. Just so you know, it's not an imposter. What's going on, Jan? No, nothing today. Wait, that's Jan. Oh, what's going on? I remember you. One more cast. Well, look, everybody. Everybody, look. I'm heading home now. Wow, I look like a Jersey gangster. These glasses, man. Can't even tell I'm a biologist. I'm going to keep wearing these. Oh, look at that. I look like I just buried a body in the river. Jimmy Hoffa. All right, I'll see y'all tomorrow. If I don't go live, that just means that my wife didn't let me, but we're going to try. All right, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you later, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Peace.